Welcome to Today TV. This is your destination for the hottest filmmakers and movie reviews, lifestyles and fashion, along with entertainment.
Hey, Jace Hammel here. On today's show, we're talking with Michigan producer Doug Struble, and he so graciously invited me to his studio here in Taylor, Michigan, Future World Media. So what's going on?
How you doing?
Good. Now, before we get into the movie, you're pretty well known for commercial production here. What type of commercials should we know you from?
Most of our bigger stuff that we've done through agencies has been like Magic Window, Mr. Roof, and then
1-800 called Mr. Roof.
Right.
All the jingles we can't get out of our head, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
And we do like a lot of smaller companies too, you know, directly as well. So it's pretty much all over the spectrum.
Okay, well, let's get to the movie, Shadows on the Wall. What's this movie about?
Well, the movie's kind of a psycho thriller. It takes place, it has to deal with a guy who's fighting a duality of human nature and is dealing with the whole Madonna complex of, you know, the good girl versus the bad girl. And he wants the bad girl, but really, you know, ultimately he wants the good girl. And he's has a series of drug problems, and he's kind of in a downward spiral. He plays a professional psychologist who meets a patient, and it kind of rocks his world, so to speak.
Is this movie taken from some personal experience, maybe?
You know, a lot of it's based on personal experience, and then some of it's, you know, just based on, you know, concepts that I think that, you know, a lot of people deal with, you know, throughout their life at one point or another.
So it was filmed here locally in Detroit, and you heard there were some exciting things that went on. Hospitals blowing up, you had to shut down a road downtown Detroit. I mean, tell us what happened.
We had a car chase scene towards the beginning of the movie, and it's filmed in Milwaukee and Woodward and Detroit. We closed down that area. We had a helicopter that was shooting the chase scene for that particular shot. And then later on in the film, when Stan and Melissa are escaping from the hospital, there's a bomb that goes off, and
right here, the bomb.
Yep, this is the actual. The bomb goes off, and they're, you know, having to flee the hospital along with a bunch of other extras that are piling out, and Homeland Security comes in, tries to track down the bomb. They don't find it in time. The hospital blows up, and that's
okay. So we've got sex, we've got drugs, we've got explosives,
right,
which every movie needs.
Yep.
So I think it's time we take a look at a clip. Can you set this clip up for us?
Yeah, this is actually a clip we were just talking about with the hospital scene, and then basically we'll just take it from there.
All right, let's check it out. love Dynamite. Awesome, awesome. All right. Now, I watched the trailer, and the soundtrack is phenomenal. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, there was a guy who was in charge of it. His name's Alex Pulaski. He's from Minneapolis, Minnesota. And he was from Detroit originally, which is how I know him. He did all the audio engineering. And he set up a whole forum where people can submit stuff to from other indie bands throughout the United States. And then we pick and chose different songs depending on what the need was for the particular scene in the movie. And then ended up coming up with the soundtrack for it. The soundtrack's been written up in Jamrag and a couple of magazines. It's pretty tight soundtrack.
Okay, how has Hollywood coming to Michigan benefited you?
Well, it really hasn't benefited us a whole lot. Most of the people that have been picking up on it are more service-oriented jobs like dry cleaning, catering, some extras, stuff like that. In fact, there was an extra we shot for a Mr. Roof commercial last year. He ends up playing a lawyer at the end of Gran Torino,
okay.
Which I thought was funny when I saw him. But it's well, beyond that, they've been sending out the post-production, major actors, all the effects out of state once they come here and shoot, and they bring in their own production too. So things are going to change more, when they got a brick and mortar here, and they're going to need more local, support.
Okay, is there one producer that you envy or has inspired you that you would just love to work with and share a story with?
I don't really have a favorite.
It's too long to talk about.
Yeah, it's too long. I mean, there's a lot of influences. I mean, even outside producers, there's a lot of influences with artists through books. There's, a lot that comes to play when it comes to, because a movie is kind of a culmination, if you ask me, of a lot of different elements, and it's kind of like comes to a point where it's like, where all of these talents come together, at a really awesome, point.
Doug, now what's the next story that you want to tell? Well, tell me about some upcoming projects that you're working on.
I have a couple ideas in the works. I haven't really worked on scripting things a whole lot because, I've been taking my business to a certain place, and then once I get past that point, I can start working on my next film again. But I've been thinking about a sci-fi movie and then a drama type thriller again, which is kind of similar to what this is, but it'd be a totally different movie.
Okay, cool. Well, the movie is called Shadows on the Wall. It's right here if you want to get a close-in. And if you want to purchase it, you can go to futureworldmedia.net, and we'll be right back with more. Stay with us.
Beautiful, isn't it? There's something very personal about buying a very special piece of jewelry for that very special person.
And the buying experience at Advanced Building Jewelers in Southfield is great. More than 15 jewelers all in one spot with the finest jewelry, the best master jewelers for custom-made products, and service second to none. Advanced Building Jewelers on Greenfield in Southfield.
Your special person deserves the very best.
Come and visit Swiss Jewelers, Vartani Jewelers Incorporated, and Golden Sun Jewelry.
Whether or not you agree with giving movie production companies a tax incentive to film in Michigan, you can't argue with the results. Since the film incentive package passed in 2008, celebrity sightings are plentiful. In fact, several locations within Metro Detroit are recognizable in movies with low or large budgets. Here are just a few movies filmed or filming in Detroit. 20% Fiction, Armed, Be Funny, Betty Ann Waters, Butterfly Effect, Clock Tower, Demoted, High School, The Irishman, The Job, Kill Shot, Little Red Devil, Miss January, Street Boss, The Tower, Tug, Youth in Revolt, Whip It, and Clint Eastwood's Gran Torino. Today, we're going to view 3 films produced by Dan Hemme. Let's sit back and watch.
We're all connected to each other, whether in a big way or in a small way.
Pam, Steve, it's Ian, the birthday